So, sir, this demo is about Pruter. So, sir, Pruter is a software which is used to teach coding to first year students, really. So,
Okay.
let me begin by logging into Pruter. So, this is the admin login. I log,
Mhm.
and the first step usually is to create a problem. So Pruter supports multiple programming languages. It supports Python, C, C++, Java, and it also supports number of front-end languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and even Angular and Node. So we start by creating a problem usually, but we have already created a lot of problems in the system already. So there are more than 600 problems of C or Python or Java already in the system. So let me come to this step later and first show you how we typically create an event. So the idea is, sir, typically when you run a lab, especially in these times of COVID, it is difficult to run the lab physically. So you may run the lab virtually. In which case you add a lab. So you create an event. The event is, for example, lab for Python. Sir, which language do you teach to students? Python or C?
C programming, sir.
Okay. So for this example, let me just take Python for now, but same thing can be done with. So event type can be lab or it can be an exam or a quiz. It can also be multiple choice questions like SLP, in which case it can be used for other areas also like electronics and so on. So I create an event and then I put a schedule. So your lab typically runs for one day. For how many hours?
3 hours, sir.
So let me choose this time. It starts at 11:17 and it ends at 3 hours time. So it ends at 2:14. Then I can assign a particular section. So if I have 100 odd students and I have only 30 computers, then I can assign a section. Or I will decide that I want to evaluate 30 students at one time. I just choose a particular section and create an event.
This is number of students who are going to appear for lab,
Yeah.
regular lab.
So we have created an event, sir. So we have scheduled a lab that this lab will automatically open for them on the 13th,
Okay.
okay, at
Hmm.
11:17. They will get 3 hours to do the coding and submit their problems.
Okay.
Similarly, I can plan for the whole semester, sir. I can
Hmm.
add more events and I can plan for the whole semester. Now,
Okay.
once we have the event, then we assign problems to that event. So
Okay.
here I choose the particular event, which is lab for Python, and I can choose various problems to assign. So here, for example, let me choose, some problems, maybe one, two, three. So I choose some 5 problems to assign. And what we have done is, sir, we have taken problems from companies also. For example, when student practice, we give them practice in Python, but ultimately their job placement matters. Therefore, we have taken, problems that Amazon, Samsung, Microsoft give to their, students, especially in C,
Okay.
and we have modeled them in the system. For now, this is a simple lab, so I take 5 problems and I assign it. Every student same set of problems, and I finish it. Now, sir, I will go and log in as a student. So typically I'll have to log out and then log in as a student. Let me take a shortcut right now and log in as a student. So the moment I log in as a student, I get this interface. There is nothing to install in this whole model, sir. Everything runs through this browser. So as long as you
Browser.
have a browser, and it can also run on a mobile actually. Difficult to,
Okay.
but it can still run on a mobile. I start coding. So here is the problem. It is a first lab. So it says print the subtraction of two integer numbers. So I have two integer numbers already given, and my job is to focus on minus two. So the idea of this template is that, so whenever we are teaching coding to C, in C, for example, to students, many times we want to focus their attention on print statement.
Okay.
But sir, what happens is they get stuck up with hash. They have to type this hash, include. They are new to this world, so many times they think, they forget this bracket, they forget this hash. Instead of hash, they will try a dollar. So instead of focusing on the print statement, they get lost in the details. They will forget that, they have to define a main function, and then main function should probably return something, stuff like that. So even if they do remember, then they think that coding is all about mugging up. Many times, sir, we take interview of students here at IIT Kanpur also, and we find the same problem. We give them a problem in mathematics. Say we give them problem 800 into 700. Without batting an eye, they will start calculating on a piece of paper and tell us this is the answer. This problem they have never encountered before, but they know the method, so they will solve it and give the answer. Even if it is complicated, like 823 into 956, they will find the answer. But if I tell them to sort the array using bubble sort, many times they will give the answer, I don't remember. What has happened is that many times students think that coding is all about mugging up. If they remember the answer, then they can solve it, otherwise they can't. The whole philosophy behind Pruter is to break away from that thinking. So instead of saying mugging up, so sir, in the first few problems, we give them this template, and when student gets comfortable with the template, then we remove the template away. We make it simplified. So that is the idea behind Pruter. So it is algorithmic thinking, step-by-step thinking.
Okay.
In this case, sir, I have written the answer. And another problem students typically face is that how do they know that their coding is actually complete? Sir, in most colleges, typically teachers will give a set of problems to students and tell them to go at their home and submit. The reason is, sir, even if you have 100 students and you give them 5 problems to solve, then when students submit them back, you have 500 solutions to evaluate. It becomes too much of work. So Pruter is designed to solve this problem also. I'll show how in a minute. For example, right now we are focused on student. So I compile and execute. I get the answer, I evaluate, and I get that the actual output is what was expected. So I know my work is done. Suppose I had made a mistake. Suppose I had done something like this. When I evaluate now, the answer doesn't match. The expected output was 1, but the actual output is 2. So I continue to code until the test case passes. The moment it passes, I know that my job is done. So I may do something like this. So there are multiple answers to the same problem. And in this case, I submit. Once I submit, this particular problem got submitted, I can start coding another one. So print sum of 2 integers. It may be as simple as a plus b. These can get complex, sir. Some problems can be, can even take days to submit. So then we run the lab for several days. So that is also possible. Okay. Similarly, now the next problem comes. This interface, sir, is very similar to what students will typically encounter in CodeBeta. So they can look at a problem, they can go back to a different problem, etc. This is quite similar to what they will do. So from lab 0 itself, we start getting them accustomed to coding tests that typically Microsoft or Amazon use for recruiting. Then, sir, we also have concept of a leaderboard. Leaderboard will show that in this ongoing class, which particular user has solved how many problems. This is, sir, so if you're running a class online, for example, and you have 100 odd students, so this particular lab is for 1,000 students right now. So when you saw me assign that problem, this was actually assigned to 1,000 odd students, and you notice the performance. Pruter runs on scale. We run this for even 30,000 students simultaneously. That is the beauty of it. Here I can see the ranking of all my 1,000 students, how many problems have been solved, how many total problems were given in real time. So once I have done this one, then I submit, suppose I submit all my problems, then I can, the lab finishes and I can, so all of these will become ticked, the lab finishes and I can log out. Then I log in as admin and go back and see that which problems have students submitted. So I can look here, view code submissions. And then I can choose a particular submission. This was lab for Python. This was day 1. And in day 1, I see for 1,000 students, and you can see that there are so many problems. So for 1,000 students, there are 5,000 answers now that I need to grade. These are all ungraded. All I have to do is click this one single button, grade problems. It will go ahead, look at number of test cases passed, and proportionally allocate mark to all those students whose test cases have passed. I may only choose to look at those students whose none of the test cases passed. So those I need to guide. Otherwise, sir, one single click will solve the problem. Right now, let me look at not graded and not submitted. Submitted. So there is one problem here that was submitted. So I click here, and here I can see all the effort that the student did. So student first, this was the first screen student got. Then he actually did something like this, A+3, and then he actually submitted it. Sir, Pruter has inbuilt capability to detect cheating. For example, if student had done copy paste, we would have trapped that. In complex problems, sir, we can actually play, and I can see the code evolve step by step. It is almost like standing behind each one of those 1,000 students and seeing how they are performing right now. Any questions so far?
Yeah, sir. Sir, you told that even cheating can also be identified. So while using this software, if he opens other tab in a browser and if he copied from other sources, can it be detected?
I'll just show you. So this is the same problem. This is question number 1. So I go back as a student. The lab is still on, sir. Lab is still on. So he do this same problem. Suppose he hadn't submitted yet. So he goes to some internet source, and maybe even from here, he copies and puts the code here. This is for comment in Python.
Okay.
And maybe he does something else. He puts this also. Evaluates. Then maybe he says, here defines another variable, C is equal to 5. And finally he submits. If I go to my admin screen, look at the submissions. Here, I could refresh this. In this case, it is not showing. Let me take another one, sir. Let me go back as a student. Take another problem to solve. And copy paste here. I feel okay, so just submit this answer. Now I log in back as an admin. Look at code submissions. Here is the problem. And sir, see here it shows pasted. Started with this code here. Then he compiled it. So I can actually play it here. So you can see he compiled it, then he compiled it again, then he compiled it, and then he submitted it, then he pasted it. Then he pasted it again. So this appears in red. So it is out. You can see this was the code before pasting. This was the code after pasting. Like, sir, it is literally standing behind each one of those 1,000 students and seeing what you're doing. This is built into Pruter.
Okay, sir.
So any event that they do, we trap that, sir. It is possible to, sir, when we said this also runs with videos. So we have this site called Pruter.ai. Here, sir, students can watch videos, and as a part of that video, we give the problems at the bottom. So when they look at problem at the bottom, then they can click that and start solving the problem here. So they watch a video on for loop, then we give them 5 problems to solve for loop. Then they solve those problems in for loop and they submit. The moment their mouse moves out of video, we can even trap that. So we can come to know that how much time did they actually watch a video. So while we gave them video to watch, were they watching YouTube? We can even come to know that concept. So anyway, sir, so right now I have this submission. So based,
Okay.
I have, I have some reports and I can look at the various reports there are. So for example, I can look at problems student wise, that each student found which particular problem to be tough, or I can look at problem wise, which particular problem did student, take long time to answer. So here problem number 905 was difficult for student to solve. Based on that, I can take certain actions.
Okay.
So this is the core of Pruter, sir. The
Okay.
other things are that student can practice in their free time when the lab is open. Then their grade card will automatically appear. Here it will show them how many problems did they solve and what was the grading. So no email, etc. is required. Everything is visible on here itself in Pruter.
Sir, may I know how many number of students can access at a time?
Sir, 30,000 is not a problem. We are
Okay.
trying for 3 lakh now.
Okay, okay, fine, sir. Thank you.
Sir, here is practice also. So whenever we create a problem, we can mark it as practice. When we mark it as practice, then the problem will appear here. Student in his free time can practice these problems.
Okay.
So they can again start solving here. So same problems are appearing here. They can start solving them. Many times student, sir, want to prepare for interview. And suppose Pruter has been running in your college for a year now. So all the problems that the student did in various labs or you gave them, etc., they get all stored under codebook. They can quickly revise their solution that they gave over here.
Okay.
Your solution they have done, it appears over here. So then they can quickly revise how did they implement sort, how many types of sorting was done, etc., etc. All that is available. So this is a primary way Pruter works actually. Then we have various, things you can look at: activity, detailed activity, like when did the student log in, what did he do, he went to various areas, etc., etc. All that can be done. This is primarily the core of Pruter.
Nice tool, sir.
So any questions more for me, sir?
Sir, how we can access as an admin? Can we have account over here? Is it a free of cost, or we need to pay something to access your server?
Sir, we do have cost involved here because of two things. One is development, and second is the cost is there. So we do charge you, minimal amount for this one. We charge 100 rupee per semester per student.
Per students. Okay. For what about the admin and course instructors?
So course instructors are depending on the students you have. So we will create the admin for you. You can do most of the activities here except add user. Other than everything I have shown you, you can do. You can create your own problem. You can,
I mean only one account. One credentials you will give it for the college.
Okay, sir. So what we will do is we will ask you for a list of students. You will give students. We will add them in the system. So if you want to, so that is the only activity you can't do. Add students into the system. You can assign them to various, and you can assign them various problems and so on. At IIT Kanpur, sir, what we typically do is we have actually 3 modes. Our labs are actually taken by teaching assistants. So instructors get the overall view, but instructors typically assign tutors who will teach students how to code, and then teaching assistants are involved in day-to-day work. When the lab is running, teaching assistants are there. Students can just
Okay.
click here to send a message, and teaching assistants respond to those messages and help the students. So tutors look at the overall grading, etc., and instructors the overall picture. So the final quiz, etc., are done using this one. In fact, sir, Router is used for admission to PhD, MSc, and MTech also in IIT Kanpur. So whenever any student wants to come into these areas, we give two exams. One of them is a written exam, and second is a programming exam. Programming exam is always in Router only.
Okay.
So this is what it is, sir. So do you have any budget right now?
No, I need to speak with my higher authorities, sir. So I will discuss regarding this portal, and I will let you know my comments to our HOD, sir. Then he will communicate to you.
Sure, sir. In case
Yes.
you want a free version, sir, we can make a demo version available to you. You can try it out.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if you're happy with that one, then we can talk about commercials.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Our
Thank you.
objective is simple, sir. In UP, we have already taught Python to 33,000 students.
Okay.
So we want to do that pan India now. So money is not the main motive behind this one, sir. As you will notice, our main motive is that students learn coding by actually doing. Many of them mug up right now, sir. Our education in engineering, sir, we like to say we have taken the engine out now. It's only earring.
Sir, I have one more query. Can I ask?
Yes, sir.
Sir, once we got your credentials, as a tutor, can we add our own assignment to this existing tool, or we can only access already available problems?
So here is how you create problems. So you create a P1, P1, P1. I
Okay.
want a problem of strings. And maybe this is problem in C.
Okay.
Then I can change a title. I can say print hello world 3. I can mark it as a practice problem or not. Input
Okay.
is take the marks to be 30. And I say the problem statement is, say, print hello world 3.
Okay.
And then I have to give a primary solution code. Here I actually type the code. I compile it, compilation is successful. I execute,
Yes.
and now I say update code. When I do update code, this particular screen will get updated. So I just refresh this, and my primary solution code will appear. Now I decide on the initial template. Now, idea is, sir, suppose this is my very first lab. Then I may like to give the first problem as something like this. Original required is printf. Sir, it is all about step-by-step approach to teaching. It is how you want to teach. So how I like to teach, I will explain that one. The very first problem to student I like to give is something like this. The answer lies in just changing one simple number. So this is the initial template I make available to them. The code runs, but it will print hello world 3. So student who's working on C for the first time, even he is curious, how do I make this hello world 3 equal to hello world 2? So he will just change 2 to 3, 3 to 2, and it will work. So the joy a student experiences for the first time that code works is tremendous. We have seen that in lab after lab after lab. Rather than this, sir, if they work in Turbo C or Borland C or something, they get stuck here itself, sir. And here, actually, I should change my template. I should include hash. They get stuck up here itself, and then they think that coding is not for them. They make simple mistakes. Program throws big errors at them. Many times they can't even figure out what the error is. And very early in first 2-3 classes, they decide coding is not for them. So the next problem, so this is the first problem I would give them. Next problem I would give them, I would remove this printf here. This is the next problem I would give them. So when students run this code now, then they will figure out, oh, a minute ago it was printing something, now it is not. So what is wrong? Then they will say, oh, in my code I had put this hello world. So that is what I have to put here. In the third code that I give them, I will remove this also. In the fourth, I will remove this entire thing. So what is happening is, sir, just because the student solved very first problem, he will himself discover the values of include, main, return, and coding for him will become like an experiment. In the lab, he will experiment. He will say, what happens if I remove this? What happens if I remove that? Does it work? Not work. So suddenly the whole flavor of coding actually changes. Rather than saying that it is mugging up, it is something that they like to play around with. Unlike even math, sir. With math, many students don't experiment, but they can.
Got it, sir.
So yeah. So what we believe is, sir, it changes. Coding is always right or wrong, sir. So what it does is it starts developing their logical and questioning ability, unlike most other subjects. So that gets uncovered. Once this is done, sir, next is test case. Test case is automatically added, so you just do add and save. It will automatically generate the output for you. So it knows that the output was hello world 2 and it is already available. If you want, you can add more test cases, but this is automatically done. And all I have to do is use this program now. It is available as print hello world in the section for strings. So if I go here under strings, this one is the program of hello world. I can assign that to the event. So I can assign problems. That was C actually. So I should create another event actually. Once I create an event, I can create an event for C. So right now this system actually configured for Python. So hence but you can change that over here. There's a default language. Here, sir, the default language is chosen as Python as default. Otherwise, I can choose C as default for you, and then everything will work for C. That is the way it is configured right now.
Oh, sir, can I ask one more doubt?
Sure.
Sir, here a problem statement can be given in the form of only writing, right? Can we give in the form of video and all? Is that option is there, or only we can give it in only statement only?
Sir, if you attach a video here, it will display.
Okay, that option is there, no, sir?
So if you attach a video, it will appear.
Okay.
So this is HTML code, for example. If I edit here and any HTML code, it will appear. That is one. The other thing is something called SLP, the multiple choice question, etc. There you can add any content actually.
Okay.
Why do you need video, sir? How do you use video to teach?
No. Instead of typing a problem statement, can we dictate through video?
Okay. Sure. So if you have a video file, you can attach that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. Nice presentation, sir. Regarding this, I will discuss with my higher authority now.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.